Greetings everyone. Let's start with a topic that is basic concept of management. First of all, we'll see the topics that we'll cover under this. That is formal versus informal organization, organization chart, and organizing principles. So let us move forward to know what an organization is. An organization consist of multiple people coming together to serve a purpose, and they can be designed to be permanent or temporary. Both formal and informal organizations serve vital needs for people. The difference between informal and formal organizations are, as you can see here, we'll compare it on the basis for comparison for meaning, creation, purpose, nature, and communication. The formal organization on the basis of comparison of meaning is an organization type in which the job of each member is clearly defined, whose authority, responsibility, and accountability are fixed in a formal organization. An informal organization based on the meaning is an organization formed within the formal organization as a network of interpersonal relationship where people interact with each other. On the basis of creation, a formal organization is deliberately by top management and an informal organization is spontaneous by members. The purpose of formal organization is to fulfill the ultimate objective of the organization, and the purpose of informal organization is to satisfy their social and psychological needs. The nature of a formal organization is stable, it continues for a long time. And whereas for an informal organization, the nature is not stable. On the basis of communication, a formal organization is official communication, whereas in informal organizations, communication can be described as grapevine. Moving on to the next topic, that is organizational chart. An organizational chart is a diagram that visually conveys a company's internal structure by detailing the roles, responsibility, relationships between individuals with an entity. There are different types of organizational chart, which are hierarchical organizational chart. This is the most common type and it gives rise to synonym hierarchy chart. A hierarchy is when one group or person is at the top while those with less power are beneath them. It is in a shape of pyramid. The next one we are going to talk about is matrix organizational chart. This is usually only seen when individuals have more than one manager. For example, an organization could have a team of graphic designers who all report to a head graphic designer. The next one we'll talk about is flat organizational chart. This type, sometimes referred to as horizontal organizational chart, has little or no levels of middle management and typically consists of two levels, that is the top administrator and the workers. Moving on, we'll talk about organizing principles. The first principle we'll discuss is principle of specialization. According to this principle, the whole work of a concern should be divided among the subordinates on the basis of qualification, abilities, and skills. The next we'll talk about is principle of functional definition. According to this principle, all the function is a concern should be completely and clearly defined to the managers and subordinate. The next principle is principle of span of control or supervision. According to this principle, span of control is a span of supervision which depicts the number of employees that can be handled and controlled effectively by a single manager. The next principle we'll talk about is principle of scalar chain. Scalar chain is a chain of command or authority which flows from top to bottom. With a chain of authority available, wastage of resources are minimized, communication is affected, overlapping of work is avoided, and easy organization takes place. The last principle we'll talk about is principle of unity of command. It implies one subordinate, one superior relationship. Every subordinate is answerable and accountable to one boss at one time. This helps in avoiding communication gaps and feedback and response in prompt. Unity of command also helps in effective combination of resources, that is physical, financial resource, which helps in easy coordination and therefore effective organization.